If you are watching this video, it's a good chance that your new job involves selling pull tabs or chances on punchboards. Even if you have played these games in the past, you may find that being on the other side of the counter is a lot different than being a customer. If you are working in a restaurant, bar, bingo hall, or other establishment that offer these gambling games, it's important to know how they are played and monitored so that when someone plays and wins, you can do your job confidently. First, you have to know some definitions. Flair. A flare is simply the advertising which gives the public information about what prizes are available in any single game. Punchboard. A device containing a number of holes inside of which are slips of paper. Pull tab. A cardboard ticket or tab. This may come in different forms. The flare gives you the name of the game, the value and quantity of prizes, and the cost per ticket. Each of the prizes over $20 for this game is listed separately on the flare. Besides prize money, you will find two other important numbers located on the front of the flare. The ID stamp number looks like this and will have the seal of the state of Washington as well as a barcode. The series number is also printed on the flare. Punchboards and pull tabs are both ways of selling chances to win a prize. A punchboard is a single device with a number of holes containing slips of paper. This is the way that customers select and remove chances. As you can see, the slip of paper comes out of the hole crimped. You must smooth it out to read the numbers or symbols and compare them to the flare to see if you have a winner. On the back of the punchboard are the series number and ID stamp number. The rest of the flare information is on the front and is directly attached to the body of the punchboard. Be sure to monitor punchboards closely, since it is possible for the customer to try to take out punches without paying for them. Pull tabs look much different from punchboards. One game can consist of up to 10,000 tickets. You will be selling these tickets or tabs by hand, or they'll come from a special vending machine. A tab can either be a banded ticket or it can be a card with one or several windows that are opened by the customer. This is a banded or jar ticket. It is opened by pulling off the paper band, then unfolding the ticket. These are hard tickets, also known as break opens. The most popular is a one-window ticket. There can be several variations. Here is a 5-window break open. Pull tabs can only be sold in one of two ways, either from a machine or a clear container. Pull tab machines must have an ID stamp signifying that it has met the requirements of the Washington State Gambling Commission. Clear containers, also known as fish tanks or bowls, will not have the commission stamp on it. If you are ever made responsible for loading pull tab games, make sure you have had the proper procedures explained to you. The main thing to remember is that the tickets for the entire game must be thoroughly mixed prior to being placed into the dispensing device. All the tickets must be put into a single dispensing device before the game can be put into play. Customers must be able to see all remaining tickets in the game, as well as the flare for the game. If the tickets are not visible, then there must be a ticket counter that the customer can see indicating how many tickets remain. The reason for this is to give the public the ability to estimate their odds for purchasing a winning ticket. Now that you know about the games, it's important to know who can play. Washington state law does not allow anyone who is under 18 or under the influence of alcohol or narcotics to play or sell chances on punchboards or pull tabs. Another requirement is that the player must immediately pay for the chances that are being purchased. Credit cards cannot be used for gambling purchases. In fact, there is no credit allowed within any gambling activity. This means your customer must give you cash or a fully negotiable check for whatever is being purchased before they can be given any tickets. You will also need to keep track of your bad checks, because if a person has an outstanding check, they cannot be allowed to write another one for a gambling purchase until paid in cash. Sometimes your customer will want you to reserve a game for them if they have invested a lot of money in that game. In other words, they don't want you to let anyone else buy tickets until they are finished purchasing tickets from a particular game. The Gambling Commission rule is that you must post your house policy for reserving games. Your sign could, perhaps, simply state that your establishment does not reserve games for customers. However, if you will reserve games under certain circumstances, clearly spell out those circumstances in your sign. As you sell chances, it is required that you keep the money separate for each game. Review the method used by your manager. Many places will use trays attached to the dispensing devices, and some use cash registers with keys that correspond to each game. There is one area left to cover that is also critical to doing your job well.
Hey, I got a winner. I got a winner.
What do you do when someone hands you a winning ticket? Don't panic. There are 4 steps that should become routine. If these steps are followed every time, there'll be fewer mistakes in redeeming tickets. Make sure that the ticket being redeemed is valid. There have been times that dishonest people have been able to collect money on fraudulent tickets. This is a crime that can be prosecuted. If you follow these 4 steps, you shouldn't end up paying on a phony ticket. First, look at the series number and the color of the ticket. This should match the information found on the flare. While checking on these items, make sure you understand what the winning symbols are. There is always a distinct way to know the difference between a winner and a loser. This is called game protection. Generally, it will be a different color or design from the losing tabs. For example, this winning ticket has a red line through it. Also, if the ticket is worth over $20, there will be a form of secondary verification. The 2 most basic forms of secondary verification are the use of a control ticket and ultraviolet light symbols. The control ticket will be found within the package, generally separated from the other tickets. This control ticket needs to be kept in a place that is handy for you to use. This control ticket has certain numbers which correspond to numbers printed on the winning tickets. The secondary verification for a banded ticket requires an ultraviolet light. This is how a winning symbol will show up under the ultraviolet system. While you are checking the ticket for these items, it's a good time to also check the ticket's general condition. Is it peeled up at the edges, or does it appear to be excessively worn? Are the edges uneven? Sometimes people have presented fraudulent tickets that they get from dumpsters or by doing a cut and paste from other tickets. Don't get taken in by these schemes. Be sure that you have checked the series number and secondary verification numbers. If someone gives you a ticket that doesn't look right, you don't have to pay off right away. You should let the person know you need to contact the Gambling Commission first. Copy information from the person to a slip of paper and attach it to the ticket for commission staff examination. While there is a slight chance of a manufacturer's defect, there is a greater chance that you are being given a fraudulent ticket. Do not accuse the customer of anything. Be polite and let them know that they will be contacted as soon as the issue is cleared up.
I have a problem with one of my games, so serial numbers don't match.
Call your local Gambling Commission agent and set aside the entire game so it can be checked along with the information you have collected from the customer. If it is a fraudulent ticket, a criminal case may be started and the information that you have collected will become critical. If the problem was a manufacturing defect, you will be notified to pay the winner.